in Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world. I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm telling you, it's real!
You're listening to BRANDCAST around the Good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to BRANDCAST Around the World with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. So glad you could join us. It is Friday morning. I hope everybody's very excited about that right now. I always forget to turn down the volume on the chat here. So good morning to everybody that's in here. Good morning, Kevin, Hannah, Mano. I'm sure there's some people hiding in here as well. I have an earpiece in there. I apologize right now. Some technical difficulties. Had an earpiece in so I could listen to videos later because I'm going to try and pull up some clips for you guys. Something new that I'm trying to do. I just told everybody in the chat I'm going to be trying to introduce a secondary camera so we can have clips and we can kind of get my reaction of things because I know reaction videos are a big thing on YouTube. And actually this morning we're going to be going over a couple things and I want to show off something. I'm not sure if everybody's been following, but Disney is releasing a bunch of new series. One is called What If. It's basically a series about all the possibilities that could happen in the Marvel universe. And I'm going to be pulling up a clip and kind of showing you guys that in a minute if you haven't seen it. I'm really excited about it. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Kieran. So we'll be looking at that. Hopefully you all haven't seen it. I think they just released it about 20 hours ago, so you may have seen it already. If you have, don't leave any spoilers in there because I am damn excited about it. I just uncovered it this morning. It popped up in my feed. So we'll be pulling that one up. A couple different interesting topics as well in the world that I tried to pull up and see what's trending around the world. Some interesting things. There's a fish apparently that's gotten hooked to methamphetamine. Fish can get hooked on meth in drug-polluted water, study suggests. I don't know why there's meth in the waters, but I guess that's something that's starting to become a bigger problem in the world. All these pharmaceutical drugs and whatnot. I guess methamphetamines is on there. So it says, are fish getting addicted to drugs that humans flush down the toilet? Researchers in Czech Republic seem to think it's possible after they deliberately tried to get dozens of trout hooked on methamphetamines for water pollution study. It almost makes me feel like those people there were actually just trying to get their hands on some methamphetamines. Why the hell are you trying to test whether fish can get hooked on meth, and why is that relevant? It makes me think that maybe there's too many drugs in the system to begin with that we're having such a concern that we're flushing them down. Plus, if you have drugs that you're not taking and flushing down the toilet, what the hell's wrong with you? Come on. Enjoy them at least. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do drugs. But it's odd to me that there's such excess of drugs that would have to be flushed down the toilet in the first place. It reminds me of that King of the Hill episode. Anybody ever watch King of the Hill? Where Hank Hill, the main character, goes out and he's looking for some kind of special bait. So his friend tells him, oh yeah, go around the corner or whatever. You meet Buddy around the corner downtown to pick it up. And Hank basically meets a crack dealer and he says, oh, I need some bait. And he's like, oh, you need some bait, Jack? I got all the bait you need. He gives him some crack and Hank Hill goes fishing with crack and the fish love it. They're absolutely into it, and they basically get addicted. So by the end of it, Hank gets pulled over or whatever, and he's caught with possession of crack, and he has to prove to the judge that the fish love crack, which apparently they no longer did after a while, which is usually the opposite of what I've seen in crackheads, but maybe fish just have a higher tolerance for it. So that's the fish story for today. I'm going to get right into this because I'm damn excited. You're going to have to see me kind of turn around. This is why we do need the secondary camera. But I'm going to show you the What If trailer. Alicia, good morning. Glad to see you here in the chat. So I'm going to go in the What If trailer, which is, like I said, basically a trailer showing off what would happen in different circumstances if things were different in the Marvel Universe. So if you're a Marvel fan, you're probably going to love this. I'm really excited to show you guys. So let's get into it without further ado. Just give me just a second here. Like I said, I don't have a Jamie or somebody to kind of pull up stuff for me, so I'm going to do it manually myself here. Let's take a look. All right, Tony Stark, the usual. Not sure if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can. Oh, that's rad. Oh. Okay, so T'Challa is Star-Lord in this. Is that actually the voice of Chris Hemsworth? I'm not sure. Wow, this actually looks super rad. So that's Peggy Carter as Captain America. Very cool. I just got goosebumps. Shit, he says in German. Scheiße. Oh, who is that? I'm hoping that's still so... Whoa! Whoa, zombies! This looks sick. Was that Peter Parker's head in a jar? So I guess he's a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Wow, okay, so this looks really, really, really cool. I'm very, very excited to see this so far. Wow. What if series? So this is definitely going to give me a copyright strike, but I don't even care. Wow, there were so many Easter eggs in that. So many Easter eggs. I don't even know where to begin on that. Hopefully, you all thought that was just as cool as I did. Holy shit. The zombie version of Captain America that I seen in there very briefly, that's got me stoked. The Peter Parker, we've already seen Into the Spider-Verse, so we know there's different versions of Peter Parker, but that was something next level for sure. Trying to see everybody's reaction here, so... Okay, so no sound for the trailer. I'm so sorry, everybody. Everybody's saying there's no sound on the trailer. My apologies. So you guys just watched that with no sound. I apologize. Technical difficulties here. So that's why we definitely got to get this set up. I will try to fix that for next week. I'm assuming the clip of the UFOs that I played for you had no sound previous, or did I mute that video? No, the sound was up. All right, I'll have to figure that out. I do apologize. But again, at least you guys got to see the video, so maybe I won't get the copyright strike there. I apologize, though, sincerely. Anyways, back into trending topics. I thought that was a really awesome trailer, so I guess that's kind of a sneak preview right now for you. You got to see the images and hear me talk about it, at least. I don't know if you could hear me or not. That might have been a complete failure. That's what happens when you try to set up a podcast at 8 a.m., do a workout, run back, set up the lights, put up the camera, do all this stuff. I actually was recording ASMR last night, so by the time I got home, I had about 30 minutes to set all this up, find some trending topics and whatnot. So hopefully you guys bear with me a little bit on some of these things that are going on, these technical difficulties. So a woman was arrested for allegedly shooting the Olympic torch with a water gun. And I do have a clip of this as well. Maybe I'll just pull it up while I talk about this. Why not? So this one we don't really need sound for, but Japanese authorities have arrested a would-be torch assassin who allegedly tried to kill the Tokyo Olympic flame with a water gun in an aquatic attack captured on video. So we've got it in the back there. So this lady was apprehended for being real clever and deciding to try to put out a Olympic torch, which I guess those flames are supposed to be eternal, right? So they burn forever. That's the gimmick behind it. Well, she didn't succeed, but came damn close. Wouldn't it have been crazy if she actually put out the Olympic torch? I don't know if that's ever been done, or if maybe it's happened behind the scenes. Like, I wonder if that flame has ever gone out. I know they've tried to keep the same flame going. There's like a main headquarters or something where they have the big Olympic flame going on. Actually, in the in Canada, in Ottawa, we have this eternal flame. I don't know if that has anything to do with the Olympics, but it is very cool. It is constantly burning. I don't know if that's distracting watching all this in the background. I can see something going on behind me. Excuse me. We'll get all this figured out eventually. Like I said, the technicalities. I almost need like a secondary person here to help me do that. I do know a couple people that could possibly get involved here. So as we evolve, the channel will get better. I am definitely thinking of setting up a dual camera system so that I can switch over. But getting a switchboard of some sort might be really good to have in front of me. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out over time. We'll keep it going. Apologies, this is probably not the most entertaining thing to hear, but that's what it is today. Iceland, a 4-day work week deemed an overwhelming success after trial. So in Iceland, they've implemented a 4-day work week, which I'm sure sounds like heaven. Being Friday right now would mean you'd be off for the weekend, which would be a great thing. So less is more in Iceland, where a shortened work week led to better outcomes for workers and employers alike, according to new study results. The trial involved trimming people's work hours without trimming their pay in order to see how it would affect their health, happiness, and productivity. So apparently people were doing a lot better, even though they cut down the hours. Business is still operated, which I think still kind of makes sense. You might actually get more business, considering that if there's less days of the week that people can go shopping, you kind of get that demand or that want. You know, people kind of save up more money as well. So there might be more shopping that comes from that, or it almost seems weird to me that businesses would kind of flourish in a time when they are giving less work. But I think the employees are definitely happy about that. For myself, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm I do all this kind of stuff for a living, so I don't really have to worry too much about working 4 days a week. But what do you guys think? Would you like to work 4 days a week? Do you think 3 days on the weekend is too much? I doubt there's anybody in here that's going to say, yes, the weekend is too long. Everybody's saying, yes, 3-day weekend. No, it's cool. Someone was protesting the Olympics. She probably started a movement there. Okay, so everybody's talking about the woman with the torch. She started a movement. Do you guys want the Olympic flame to go out? It seems like everybody's kind of anti-Olympic flame in the chat. Well, sorry. Jeez. To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen wanted on an arrest warrant. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of like the narrative has flipped a little bit. U.S. authorities are looking to catch Chris Hansen, former host of the pedophile ambush show To Catch a Predator, after he failed to appear at a Michigan court hearing on Thursday. Hansen did not respond to a subpoena for footage recorded in a police sting operation that he helped with last October, according to Scott Coroner, a prosecuting attorney in Shawassee County, Michigan. I'm not even sure. I might have just butchered that. So Chris Hansen is in deep water now. You know, what'd be hilarious is if they went to catch him and they set up like a hidden like punked show. You know, like the same thing. They kind of got him back with that. It's like that'd be fucking hilarious to watch him. You know, go to a pizza place or something and then be like, "Oh, so you want pizza, Chris? Why don't you have a seat?" That show was hilarious. It's terrifying, but hilarious at the same time. So it seems like the tables have turned for Mr. Chris Hansen. Cops creator John Langley dies during off-road race in Mexico. How ironic that the creator of Cops would die doing something very illegal. That's sad. I really enjoyed that show. But I heard that it got canceled last year. I believe it was on its last season or something. Something had happened. I know with all the movements and the police brutalities and Black Lives Matter movement, there was a lot of negative press facing the show Cops, because they seem to have had a lot of colored minorities present on the show, and it seemed to be almost dominant, and people found that that was a little bit almost slightly racist, or just kind of showed a negative side of people's lives that, you know, maybe made people look negative. It seems here it might not have been an illegal race. He might have been doing it legally. It says John Langley prepares for a race to honor the 800th episode of Cops, September 10th, 2010. And he's got this kind of like dune buggy looking thing. So I'm assuming maybe that was actually legal. So maybe he didn't. I shouldn't tarnish his name by saying he was doing some illegal shit. But unfortunately, he is gone from the world. And Cops, I don't know if it's still running or not. You guys might want to correct me on that one, but I know there was some backlash. I've always loved that show. I never really looked at it as a racial thing. I didn't try to, I never really try to look at the world as a racial thing, especially when it comes to crime or those kind of stigmas or whatnot. But yeah, okay. Well, rest in peace to John Langley. I always remember seeing that name pop up in the credit. God, I'm horrible at speaking when I'm on the spot here. So here's an interesting one, actually. This one kind of makes me have a couple questions to follow. But a pet chimpanzee was shot dead after attacking the owner's daughter. Sheriff deputy shot and killed a rampaging chimpanzee on a farm in Oregon on Sunday after the animal attacked its owner and forced them to take shelter in their basement. Jesus Christ. The incident happened on Sunday morning at a horse farm in Pendleton, Oregon, according to the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office. Owner Tamara Bragodia called 911 and urged police to kill her 200-pound pet chimpanzee, Buck, after it bit her 50-year-old daughter several times. Jesus Christ. Why would you keep a 200-pound gorilla, chimpanzee, whatever, in your home? What the hell is wrong with you? People are so odd. You know, they try to keep these animals in these tight, closed spaces, and they think, you know, the animal's going to enjoy watching TV and eating chips with you. That animal doesn't want to sit inside. It's got arms and biceps that would crush your skull without question. It needs to be swinging on trees and eating natural things and fighting with other people and mating with 14 different chimps. You know, that must be so frustrating for an animal like that. Imagine being, you know, like abducted by aliens or something, and you were the only one of your species or kind, you know, living in a kind of created environment for you. I've always looked at zoos and just been like, what the hell? For our own amusement, we kind of like capture and enslave these animals. We go, oh, they're fine. We feed them and whatnot. It's like they always look depressed. They're sitting there doing nothing all day long behind a cage. If you guys know me, I'm a big fan of sharks. And one thing that I love about sharks is they're such a dominant species. Been around since, you know, the prehistoric ages, since dinosaurs were around. They're very resilient, and they almost seem really stubborn. I know there was they've tried to basically put great white sharks in aquariums or tanks, and they won't have it. The sharks will just die within a week. I think the longest they've ever held one was a week. For some reason, these sharks just won't have it, no matter how big they make the tank, whatever they try to do to match the shark's environment. It's unnatural for it, and the thing gets, I guess, so depressed or whatever, it won't eat, won't do whatever, and it just dies. And I think it kind of makes sense that these deep ocean creatures, you know, they're not supposed to be in cages. You know, you look at these whales at SeaWorld and how much bullshit has gone on at SeaWorld. Like, I will never, ever, 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 ever in my life again buy a SeaWorld ticket or support a place like that. I don't want to see any whale captivated, and it just makes me sad and depressed. I don't know. I know people go into zoos and I guess they don't really realize the cruelty behind a lot of that shit, and I think it's pathetic. You know, even some certain pets, people aren't supposed to keep certain pets. You know, let people be. You know, let animals be wild like they're supposed to, and you won't have them bite your 50-year-old daughter several times. Jesus, you're asking for trouble doing that. Like keeping something that dangerous or that powerful, and you can't you can't communicate with it and say like, oh, you having a shitty day, chimp? You feel like ripping somebody's arm off today or biting my daughter 50 times? You can't ask a chimp that. You know, some things shouldn't surprise me in this world, but like some people are just so stupid. You know, you're almost asking for trouble. Like in Texas, I know there's more tigers in Texas in captivity than there are in the wild in the world. That blows my mind. Texas is just a whole nother world, though. They're allowed to do some crazy shit. I don't think they have a personal income tax there. It makes me wonder how they're able to sustain, you know, like roads and whatnot. Unless there's just a lot of money there. I know there is oil tycoons and whatnot, but I don't really know. That one's interesting to me. All right, let's see what else is going on in the world today. It's kind of sad news. U.S. daredevil Alex Harville dies in warm-up crash for world record jump. American stuntman Alex Harville died Thursday while trying to break a world record for the longest motorcycle jump after a practice run when Ari... Is that how you say that? Ari? In front of an air show crowd in Washington State. Harville, who was 28, had his wife and 2 young sons in the crowd for his 107-meter, 351-foot record attempt at Moses Lake Air Show on Thursday morning. That's crazy. You got to think, though, if you're keeping a job like that, there's not much guarantee that you're going to come home to your wife and kids. Like, but why would you bring them to the event then? It's just like, oh, kids are going to live with that for the rest of their lives, you know? That's horrible. Rest in peace to this young gentleman. But, I mean, what a way to earn a living. I guess you can't really back out, though, either, because once you're 28, you're kind of cemented in that career. And now, what do you do for a living? Oh, I jump over large distances with motorcycles. I wonder how much you get paid for that. I wonder if it's like worth it though. You know what I mean? Are you selling tickets? Do you get paid by a sponsor, endorsement? Like, how do you make money off that? I wonder, because it's a live event, so I'm assuming there's probably some kind of ticket sales. But if you can only, how many times a year can you do that? How many times a year are you working? I assume that can't be a super luxurious life. You know, you probably have a side, or had a side job of some sort. I'd be curious to look into that and see a little bit more. I kind of often think about the friends that I have that are stuntmen and some of the crazy things that they do. And James, I talked about often. Yeah, I always worry about him. He had a shoulder injury a couple years back, and he always went to the doctor, and the doctor basically told him, like, you should be working on set. And he still went on to work on set because he's an animal. And he had to get, like a steel plate or something put in his shoulder, and it just like had a bunch of surgeries. It's like, oh my God, for a living. It just makes me wonder the longevity of a lot of these careers. And I hate to say that. Hopefully James isn't watching this right now, but I hope he keeps safe. I hope there's some kind of like afterpay or bonus pay, danger pay. I know that exists in the real world, but it seems like these guys are risking themselves. And rest in peace to this young gentleman who died at 28 years old. Just can't imagine. It's like being older than that. Just like, Jesus. Imagine it ending that early. That's pretty sad, for sure. So this is one that appeared in the news a while back. It was kind of trending around, and I don't know if it's a real one because I've heard some feedback now that this guy might have been making up the story. But a humpback whale, apparently, I'm going to say apparently, swallows up a diver, then spits him out alive. A lobster fisherman survived the worst kind of fluke encounter on Friday when he was briefly scooped up into the mouth of a humpback whale while diving off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Michael Packard, 56, says he was very bruised up after the incident, though he's quite happy to be the one that got away. I just felt this truck hit me and everything went dark, he told NBC. So this guy went to the hospital and they said they had a bunch of he had a bunch of abrasions and bruises and whatnot, but they almost said it doesn't match what would have happened. And this kind of story has never been heard before, where a humpback whale would swallow up a human. So the doctors think it's a fake one. He says he initially thought he'd been devoured by a great white shark, but he soon realized that he was still in one piece and that he was not surrounded by teeth. That must be fucking terrifying, though, if that really did happen, if he's telling the truth. Just imagine just being in the water. But you'd think you'd see something massive like that is a humpback whale. Yeah, humpback whale. Those things are huge. You'd see that thing coming for you, I think, or underneath the water. There'd be some kind of disturbance. And what the hell was this guy doing in the water if you're lobster fishing? Don't they just pull up cages? Did he fall in? There's lots of red flags about this article. I don't know how I feel about this guy. Maybe if he would have been eaten and the shit out, then I would have believed him. But he would have had to die for that one. That's right. I'm all or nothing in this scenario. The humpback whale, they I don't think they even try to eat other animals. They just or they do they? I think like swarms of fish or plankton and whatnot. They eat smaller things, which is really odd. For something that size, they must consume a lot. Anyways, that's pretty much the trending topics for today. Trying to go over as much as I can. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're ending it a little bit short on this one. We'll definitely see you guys tomorrow night if you're going to be joining us. We have a red carpet event this week. Saturday night, we are going to be watching 14 Keys. If you are a silver or gold channel member, I can't remember which one. So if you don't have it, you can also get a ticket to this event. You can go on to the shop at my website, www.brandb.ca, if you want to buy a ticket event for this weekend. Or if you'd like, it's more beneficial just to become a member. It comes with a bunch of perks. Head over to brandb.ca and you can definitely join us. The Conor McGregor fight and Dustin Poirier is this weekend. Didn't want to talk about it too much today because I think I've talked about it enough, just like aliens and whatnot, but I'm really excited for the fight. I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm really excited to see a couple of the other fighters. Stevie Wonderboy and Sugar Sean. We'll see how the outcome of those fights go. Hopefully, after the live event on Saturday, I'll probably only be able to catch McGregor, but I'll be watching the live updates as we go. Hopefully, you guys are excited as well. So, 14 Keys. We're going to be watching the first 4 episodes this Saturday. Buy your pass. Come watch it live with us. It'll be a great experience, a great time. Kind of like a pop-up video experience where I'll be giving you more info about it. So, that's it for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing Friday. Hope you have a great day at work or whatever you're doing. We'll see you on Monday or Saturday. Also, tune in tonight. There's a vlog on this channel. Still got to film up something today, actually. I got a few ideas, so hopefully we'll have that ready for tonight. But we definitely have a Flicks and Chills video coming, so check out that channel, and we'll see you then. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. If not, we'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world. I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm saying it. It's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world. I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm saying it. It's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST